and welcome back to the channel. I hope that you're all well and I've had a good month of May. So I'm recording this on the 31st of May. I had a good month. It was my birthday yesterday. Had a really lovely day, lots of surprises, but I've also had a good colouring month too. So I thought I'd record this today. So I had done 14 pages, 2 of which are not on here because I didn't post them on Instagram. Ended the month with 1,899 subscribers, which is plus 50 from last month. So welcome to everybody who subscribed this month. Thank you very much. I hope you're enjoying everything. I've done 3 videos this month and I participated in 9 hashtags. So that's a pretty good month for me. And we're just going to kick straight off with the books. So the first one is, slide it around there, is from Morgan O'Brien's Matchstick Mouse, a springtime colouring book. And I had a real lot of fun with this page. Just got to find it. I never put tags in my book and I always think I should. It was this one. I had a lot of fun with this. Really just enjoyed it. I'm just going to grab my notes. So this I coloured with my usual Arteza Everblend markers, alcohol markers. Then I did some shading with Arteza Expert coloured pencils. There's some Uniball Signo in silver for the strings hanging down with the shells. And then on the shells, I used some pencil and then I put some Winsor & Newton iridescent medium on the shells. I really like the pink hat. I love the purple background. I love the flowers. I just loved everything about this page. It was just so fun. Such a happy page to colour. So that was Matchstick Mouse, a springtime colouring book. Then, carrying on, I haven't been keeping tally and I need to go back through and tally them up. So Winsor & Newton. Kirby Rosanes is one of my artists I'm focusing on this year. So I'm hoping, you know, I do one of his images a month. That's all I can cope with. Whether that be from Fragile World, World Within Worlds, or I think it's Imagimorphia I've got. So I did one from Fragile World this time around, and I did the Queen Alexandra Birdwing Butterfly, and it's now a double page spread, which is very exciting. So this is the one I did, and I think what's really interesting, and I'll show you in a minute. So I based this with Crayola Super Tips. I based everything, all the flowers, butterflies, flowers down here, and all the leaves with Crayola Super Tips. Then I did some shading with Black Widow pencils. And then the background is chalk pastel. And that is because I did chalk pastel for this background. And what I find really interesting, so this I think was the first image I did in this book. This is all colour pencil. And this is based with Crayola Super Tip. And you can see the difference between the vibrancy of the colours. I find it really interesting that I chose similar colours at the bottom for these flowers. But I think it shows my growth, which I quite like. So I now have a double page spread, which is also really nice. So that was the Queen Alexandra Birdwing Butterfly from Kirby Rosanes' Fragile World. Then I did lots, at the beginning of the month, I did lots and lots of mermaids. And then I got a bit tired. I was like, I need to do something other than mermaids. So I got my Million Mermaids by Lulu Mayo out, and I did a mandala-ish type page. It wasn't quite the same all the way around. I'm not overly pleased with the result, I have to say, but it was fun. So this is the one I did. I just have to, I think I based it with Crayola Super Tips again. Yes. So I based, I think, most of it with Crayola Super Tips. Then I went over and did some shading with Brute Funa Squares. There's some Pentel Jewel Hybrid, and that is on most of the mermaid tails. Yeah, most of the mermaid tails. There is then some CSY watercolour paint in the ocean. There's some Galaxy glitter, apparently. Don't know where the Galaxy glitter is. That might be in the clouds. In the clouds. So yeah, I like it and I don't like it at the same time. I quite like the shimmeriness of it, but I don't think I like my colour choices. And I think, I know where the Galaxy glitter. The Galaxy glitter is in the background. And I can't remember what I did the background with. Oh, TBC Silky Crayons. So yeah, it's in the background, but It's very, very subtle. You can't really notice it. But yeah, that was from A Million Mermaids by Lulu Mayo. Then one thing I didn't post on Instagram. So again, Johanna Basford is one of my featured artists that I'm focusing on for this year. So I try and do 1 or 2 from her books each month. And I got very drawn to the crafting page. So this one. And I had this vision of it being kind of quite a limited colour palette, but quite bright pastel-y colours. So I used my, what did I use? Brute Funa Squares, I think. Hang on a second. Yeah, I haven't written this one down. So this is Brute Funa Squares. Not Brute Funa Squares, Brute Funa Macaron. And I used like an orange, a yellow, a pink, and a green. And then I used some additional, I think it was polychromos, just to do some shading. And then I went in with some Pentel Dual Hybrid, which you probably can't, you can see a little bit. There's some sparkly bits on the papers in the board. I used a glaze for the light shades bit. I used the Uniball Signo Silver, like on the tops for the key. I added in the floorboards, or laminate flooring as I call it. And I didn't want to do any more of that. I knew I wanted it quite a brightly coloured room. I saw these as clouds outside the window rather than trees, as I've seen other people do. But yeah, I quite like it. I like the result. It feels quite fresh and clean to me, which is what and airy, which as a space is what I envisage it to be like. So I guess you could say it turned out as I imagined. I think I could maybe have done a little bit better, but I'm quite happy with the result. So that was from Rooms of Wonder by Johanna Basford. Then I did, I think I did a couple of double pages this month. So this is my first one. This was epic. So carrying on with my theme of mermaids, I did this one. And it was absolutely epic. I knew I wanted the mermaid to have blonde, really quite light blonde hair. And I used Black Widows. I used Winsor & Newton watercolour in the background. And I did several layers of that. And it's got some crinkling, but very little amount of seepage, which is pretty amazing. Only where my messy watercolour is. Yeah, so I really like the depth of colour and the kind of changing between those. So I really enjoyed the Winsor & Newton watercolour. I used Pentel Dual Hybrid. There's lots of shininess. There's purple in the hair and then some silver in there. Lots of Posca for the bubbles. And then I followed a Fantasy Face tutorial by Colour with Claire on YouTube. And she was using polychromos, I was using Black Widows, so I kind of had to choose my own colours in a way. I really like the way this has turned out. It kind of gives me, what's that film called? One that's just come out, Way of Water, something like that. Oh, I can't remember what the film's called. And so I really like the depth of colour. I like the way the bone, you've got a cheekbone. I really like the way it's come out, and I'm definitely going to try it again. But I've also been watching another tutorial on skin tones, which I'm also going to be using. But I really like the way this turned out. It's an epic colour, but I love the vibrancy, and is a double page in hand Carlson. So, and it's a portrait, which I always kind of shy away from. So I'm extremely proud of this, and yeah, I think it's probably my favourite one I did this month. So that was from Daydreams by Hannah Carlson. So I think I did a couple of double pages this month. I think I went a bit, yeah, I did. I went a bit crazy, which I don't normally. So, Small Victories by Johanna Basford. So let me see. I can't remember what I did in this, and I'm not sure I liked it. Oh yes, I did. So it was this one, the kind of 16 little miniatures. I did Arteza Expert pencils in this. I used kind of some different colour combos. I kind of used same colours along one row, and did it that way. So it doesn't really hang together. I used a stencil for the background with, I think it was TBC Silky Crayons and a stencil. What else did I use? Pentel Dual Hybrid, Uniball Signo, Jelly Roll Glaze. So yeah, it's nice, but not as you know, not as good as that one, I don't think. But you know, can't win every page in my opinion. So that's Johanna Basford Small Victories. Then we have one. Hello Buttons. It's my pussycat. It's come to see me. It doesn't like the rain and it's raining. So we have Matchstick Mouse, a floral colouring book. I cannot remember what I did in this one either. So I'll have to just flick through and try to find it. So bear with me. Not that one. Nope, not that one. No, not that one either. Oh, that one. Oh, that one. Was it this one? Oh. Sorry about this. Just talk amongst yourselves. Maybe I didn't do one in here. Maybe it's a fib. Or I've just gone past it. It definitely wasn't that one. Was it that one? Quite possibly it was that one. It may have been that actually, but it just seems such a long time ago. I think it was this one. This one was just very cute. So Arteza Everblend alcohol markers, Arteza Expert pencils. I used a few Brute Funa squares, Pentel Dual Hybrid, there's some of that on the flowers, and some Posca pen that kind of go around the petals. Put some Pentel in the trees and around the clouds. Yeah, that was just a very simple, easy page, and I think I needed that after a few detail pages I'd already done. So yeah, that was from Matchstick Mouse, a floral colouring book. Then Molly Harrison always has some good mermaid pictures. So I got out the first book and I did a page in this and I absolutely love it. It's this one. I had a lot of fun with this. I was really trying to vary my mermaid colours. So yeah, I had a lot of fun. Just got to find which one. Yeah, there we go. So I used Polychromos pencils for this. I also used Derwent drawing pencils and I used that on the rock because they've got some great greys in there. TBC Silky crayons for the sky. Pentel Dual Hybrid, and that is on the tail. You can see that. Stickles on her face. Yeah, just some stickles on her cheeks. Posca pen. I don't know why I used the Posca pen. Oh, in the sky, of course, to make the stars. Some Calero watercolour for the moon, which I really like the way that turned out, actually. And then washi tape around the outside. So yeah, I was really trying to vary my colours, and I really wanted her to be quite an ice queenie. Oh, and I used some stick-on stars as well in the sky, which are kind of lovely and shimmery, and they worked really well with, I think it's my sticky pen. But they worked really well. Yeah, so I really enjoyed that page. A lot of fun, really nice colours. It just came together really nicely at the end. So that was Molly Harrison's Big Fantasy Colouring Book in Grayscale, book 1. So yeah, good fun. Then I did one, so this isn't on Instagram either because I found this very difficult to post because of colours. This was from Fierce and Fancy Faces. It's so difficult to say that title. And this is Hannah Lynn's pocket-sized colouring book, and I did The Mermaid in the Bath. So I did this one, and the colours were so difficult to photograph. I just found it extremely difficult. So, just got to find it. So this is Arteza Everblend alcohol markers. Brute Funa squares I used, which I don't normally use. But I really like, there's a really lovely colour called Hay in the Brute Funa squares that makes this really beautiful kind of platinum blonde colour. So I really knew I wanted this to be blonde. Pentel Dual Hybrid, which is on the bubbles in the bath. I can't find it now. Can't remember what else. There's a Chromatech glitter pen around the outside. Some silver pentel dual hybrid. I think I put the Winsor & Newton over the bath to give it like a iridescent effect. And it just, yeah, I just enjoyed it. It was very nice and the colours came together nicely. And it was all done with pencils this time rather than... Oh, that was it. So the background and the bath are with alcohol markers, but everything else is with pencil. So even the skin tones with pencil this time, which I don't normally do, but I've really been wanting to try. And I think it's turned out quite well. So I'll be trying that again in the future. So yeah, I had fun with that. I enjoyed it. Is Hannah Lynn one of my featured? She is. Hannah Lynn is one of my featured artists this year. So I've got 4. Hannah Lynn, Kirby Rosanes, Eerie, and Johanna Basford. So that was another Hannah Lynn one done this month. Then my Eerie page. So this was following on from my mermaids, and I had a lot of fun with this page, and I absolutely love it. And it was this one which reminded me. So I think this is from her fairy tale book. So I did an Ariel mermaid, and I absolutely loved this. Loved this from start to finish. Eerie. So I used Inktense to pretty much base everything. Polychromos pencils to go in with the shading. Neocolor 2. So I think I did that for the water and I did that for the sky. Calero watercolour paint. Oops, my glasses on the floor. That is for the castle. I've got a lovely like blackberry type metallic watercolour paint. So I really like that. I use that for the turrets. What else? Liquid pearls, and that is in her headdress. And Pentel Dual Hybrid, which I put on her tail. Oh no, no, that's paint on her tail. Calero paint. Where did I put the Pentel Dual Hybrid? Oh, it's probably on the things around the border. But yeah, everything else is Inktense and Polychromos. And I put some Art Spirits paint in the water. It's called Mermaid. I think it's Mermaid. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. Mermaid Dusk, I think it is. So it's got like a blue shine to it, but I think you're just about catching that in the light. But I absolutely love this page. I'm super happy with it. And for me, Inktense with pencils over the top is the way to go in Eerie books. So that's what I'm definitely going to be relying on in the future. But I loved this page. So that was from Eerie's fairy tale book. Then I've got a couple more. And then we're done. Oh no, 3 more. 3 more. So then I did one from Hannah Lynn's Mermaids, Fairies and Other Whimsy Girls. And this was a mermaid as well. And it was this one. I had a lot of fun with this. Again, a different skin tone for me. Kind of felt so I messed it up a bit, but it doesn't look too bad. So this was Arteza Everblend alcohol markers and some Winsor & Newton alcohol markers. Arteza Expert over the top. Pentel Dual Hybrid. That's on the fish and the little, these are like barnacles in the rock. Stickles, which are like the black ones in the beads, and liquid pearls in the beads. And some Posca pen because I use that for the bubbles in the background. I love the way this turned out. I put some Pentel Dual Hybrid in her hair as well. Love the way this turned out. I love the skin tone. Another one done in this book, which I often neglect, I think. Because I enjoy the pocket size ones so much. I always forget about these bigger ones. But I always have a lot of fun in the bigger ones. So yeah, I enjoyed that. Love the vibrancy of the colours. And again, I was experimenting, so it's like a teal and purple colours. So yeah, Hannah Lynn, Mermaids, Fairies and Other Girls of Whimsy. Then I did a page from Fairy and Fantasy 3 by Karron, and again I absolutely loved this page as well. Came out so much better than I could ever have imagined it would. Karron. So this was Brute Fruna Squares. So I didn't base this at all. I don't think I did. No. Brute Fruna Squares, Pentel Dual Hybrids. That's all with the beading. Distress Oxide in the background, and Posca pens to make the bubbles, and there's also some silver in the background as well. Yeah, I just love this. I love the detail I got on the tail. Love the way I did the bottle. Don't like the fish, but we'll pretend he's not there. Love the colour choices, pink and purple, of course. And I just love everything about this page. And it's a bit different to the other ones I've done in here, which have been very pastel-y. Can't find them now, of course. But yeah, so I really enjoyed that. And I just got Fairy and Fantasy 4 for my birthday, so I'm looking forward to diving into that one. And then my final page for the month, which I've only just posted up on Instagram, was from Mermaids Europa by Rita Berman. And this was a joy from start to finish. Absolute, total joy. Arte's Expert pencils, lots of silver Uniball Signo, and that's to go around the outline of the clouds. Lots of Posca to do like highlights and stuff. Pentel Dual Hybrid on most things. Arte's a metallic watercolour paint, and that's around each of the circles. So I don't know if that's really coming out on there, but yeah, each of the circles has got a different colour. Arte's metallic watercolour. TBC Silky crayons in the background, and then over these little kind of track lines, I went over them with Winsor & Newton iridescent medium. So where there's like these bits on the corner, I put some iridescent medium on them, and then over so it's like almost like a snail trail is what I thought of it as. But I love the way this turned out. Really vibrant. Loved doing each of the little circles, and it was just a lot of fun. I don't know if I'll do that page. That's more in focus. And now I can see what I might do with my chocolate shop later on in the book. So I'm excited about that. And then that one's a bit more of a close-up as well. A lot of fun. And I think I put some Sakura Jelly Roll Stardust in there to make it look like snow. But yeah, that's my final one of the month. I had a lot of fun. Hope you've enjoyed seeing all of my pictures. Let me know in the comments which one was your favourite. I'll see you all again next month. If anyone wants to do a buddy colour next month, I'm open. Let me know what you'd like to do. Drop me a DM on Instagram, and I'll see you all again next month. Bye!